101.5 The Creation and Structure of the Cosmos. Hello and welcome to the Cosmic Experience of One. This is an awareness expanding course that should be absorbed in order. Like a university course, this course's information builds upon itself, so you would be doing yourself a disservice if you took it in out of order. If you do not watch it in order, you might not comprehend the material, or worse, you will think you fully understood it and walk away with a skewed interpretation. Do yourself a favor and first view 101.1, 101.2, 101.3, and 101.4, which are all in one video that starts with an introduction to this course. The introduction to this course needs to be taken in first in order to know the nature of this awareness expanding course. Think of this course as a book where you will not understand it fully if you do not read the chapters in order, with the introduction being imperative to take in first. So please click on the link in the description section under this video to view the first video. Please do not be discouraged if the first section of this subject is hard to understand, as this is the hardest topic to comprehend of all the topics in this course. No matter where it is placed in the course, it would be just as hard to understand. If you do not understand most of what is covered in the first section, it is still okay to move on to the next subject, as understanding the first topic in this subject is not necessary in order to understand the following subjects. We make this note so the difficult first topic of this subject does not discourage human beings from continuing on to the following subjects that have the potential to change one's life and offer liberation. Human beings used to think planet Earth was flat before finding out it was spherical because it looked flat from their vantage point of standing on the surface. Spiral galaxies, like the Milky Way galaxy, may be spread out on a mostly flat-like disk area and may seem to be moving in its entirety in a straight line or plane through space, but they are traveling along a topology shaped similar to an apple, which is the shape of the universe and is quite vast in size. The universe has a toroidal flow and pattern that is shaped like an apple, not a donut, with the seed of the apple being in the middle, the great central sun, which became a black hole after completing the initial mental work of creating the original thought that is the cosmos. All came into existence from the seed, and all will eventually coalesce and return to the seed, which is source. The cosmos, or each universe within it, is not the shape of a donut. This is misdirection / disinformation by negatively oriented beings. The cosmos is the shape of an apple with a self-containing flow that is similar to what has been labeled on Earth a toroidal flow or pattern where spiraling energy moves continuously through the center and around its surface, with energy flowing endlessly inwards and outwards in a self-contained manner. Though it is not only one continuously flowing direction like that in a donut shape, the electromagnetic field of the cosmos, or each universe within it, is shaped like two superimposed apples where energy is spiraling and flowing in opposite directions. Within one apple shape, the flow of energy moves from the center seed to the top and fountains down around the surface to the bottom, where it reverse fountains inward back to the seed and continues in this flow in a spiraling manner. The apple that superimposes the other flows in the same manner, but the energy flows from bottom to top. All love and light energy vibrates in spirals around these fields, arcing out in an expanding manner, reaching the outmost middle part of the field, and then arcing back in a collapsing manner as it journeys closer to moving through the center and back into the very middle, where the concentration of source resides before continuing on in a similar manner again. Some galaxies are closer to the center and some are farther away as they move through the apple-shaped universe. It is a closed system where all life force is recycled, ever changing and shifting and never being wasted or destroyed. This is where the infinity sign originates from. All material is assembled by the dynamic tension of the electromagnetic fields of these two superimposed apple-shaped fields. The same apple shape and flow of energy can be found in the electromagnetic fields around a galaxy, a solar system, a star, a planet, and a human being. As above, so below. As below, so above. The electromagnetic field nurtures and protects everything within its apple-shaped field. The green ray heart chakra of a human being resides in the middle of a human being's 7 chakra system and is comparative to the nurturing heartbeat of a star or black hole, both of which are a logos, that lies in the middle of a solar system or galaxy, and up to the most macro example of the great central sun logos, which is now a black hole, in the middle of the universe, acting as the heartbeat for each universe within the cosmos. Since these same flowing and spiraling apple-shaped fields make up the electromagnetic fields around a universe down to being around a planet and around a human being, nodes, ley lines, or energy centers, different terms for where they reside throughout a universe, planet, or being, exists where the spiraling life force energy crisscrosses like braided hair. These notes can be used like portals to hop around the universe. One does not need to travel in a spacecraft the whole distance to a location far away. Such is linear thinking. In the apple shape of a cosmos, or each universe, all throughout the ether is connected like crisscrossing roads on a map or the neural pathways in the brain, allowing connection and communication throughout the cosmic web. As above, so below. As below, so above. The energy flowing topology of the cosmos is an apple shape, with each universe being within it. Each universe is a possible outcome of events or a timeline, which has become the popular term used on Earth. Every timeline is a universe within its own dimension. Since there are an infinite amount of possibilities /timelines, there are an infinite amount of universes within the cosmos. Since your focal point of awareness is always in a single timeline, and each timeline is in its own dimension, the universe and the cosmos are the same thing from an individual's focal point of awareness or vantage point in a single possibility /timeline /universe. The cosmos is infinite, but not how a human typically thinks of the term infinite, spreading out with no end in the physical outer planes. In the outer planes, each universe may be seen as unfathomably expansive, but it is a closed system that begins by exiting the apple seed, source, and eventually returning to the seed. The infinite aspect of the cosmos lies within the infinite universes, each possible timeline in its own dimension. The possibilities /timelines may be infinite, but a being's incarnations within each cosmos comes to an end when one's focal point of awareness merges back with source, merging back with a being's totality as one part of source and source at the same instance in a state of timelessness outside of an illusory cosmos. After a time of rest, the sparks of Source journey out again in the next cosmos and continue in this manner within the infinite array of cosmoses. The illusion of time operates in the physical outer planes as a being moves through space in time. The metaphysical inner planes do not move through space and time and inhabit the invisible realms in time in space, where time does not operate how it does in the physical outer planes. The aspect of Source that exists outside of the illusory cosmoses is in a state of timelessness that can only be understood after a being merges with its totality, merges back with Source. There are no words or images to describe this state, nor do we fully understand this state of being, since our current focal point of awareness resides in the later sixth subdensity. Seventh density is where beings in the united group work toward merging with their totality, and after the seventh density is the merging back with Source. We will cover the different densities in a future subject. Beings' experiences and incarnations in this particular cosmos was not the beginning and will not be the end. There was a cosmos before this cosmos. Source used all that it learned about itself in previous cosmoses to progressively create the cosmos you currently reside in, and after you are done with this cosmos, you will experience the next cosmos. But before moving on to the next cosmos after merging back with Source, a being may decide to assist in some manner within this particular cosmos for a period of time before moving on to the next cosmos. There are infinite cosmoses, so your experiences never end. We have summed up the overall structure of the cosmos. Now we will summarize the creation of the cosmos, and in doing so cover more of the structure as well. Describing the cosmos's creation cannot be done sufficiently with words, but we attempt to be as accurate as possible given the limitations. For a cosmos, a particular methodical illusion, first there is the logos. A star and a black hole are both logi, plural for logos, as a star and a black hole are the same thing but in a different phase. This should not be a surprise to human beings, as scientists on Earth know that stars have the possibility of turning into black holes. The logi are the Source's exhales and inhales for creation, the seeds in which mental projections come forth and return to. Source exhales and breathes life into a mental illusion using the form of a star logos, and Source inhales and breathes life back inside itself using the form of a black hole logos. The logi, stars and black holes, are entrances and exits for the cosmos, which is a mental projection from Source. Only beings in the last seventh subdensity can use black holes to merge back with Source. All beings below this highest subdensity level would transition /die if they entered a black hole, because the intense love and light energy they would face is not yet equal to the love and light energy that these beings consist of. Their spiritual mass has not phased or taken in an adequate amount of intelligently conscious love and light energy. A being not yet in the last seventh subdensity entering a black hole would be akin to a human being attempting to bathe in lava. Through a star logos, Source exhales part of its life force, which is intelligently conscious love energy. Therefore, a logos could be considered this very love energy. This life force, or love energy, is projected out into and throughout the cosmos, forming and creating the metaphysical or invisible structure of the cosmos, the inner planes. This vibrating love energy could be seen as the spirit that animates and allows the physical to form. All physical matter is vibrating light, never being still or solid, starting with the base form of a photon. The vibrating love energy inspirits and cultivates light vibration, which is all matter that makes up the physical structure of the cosmos. All physical matter is vibrating, intelligently conscious light energy, which is made from vibrating, intelligently conscious love energy that inspirits light, all of which is projected from Source and is Source at the same time, because everything is Source and is never actually separate from Source. The first star Logos, the great central sun, appeared after Source's mental projection of the original thought was brought forward into existence. The great central sun Logos, located in the center of the cosmos, or each universe, projected intelligently conscious love energy and created the metaphysical inner planes. The inner planes have structured densities like the outer planes do. Then the great central sun Logos, using intelligently conscious love energy, inspirited intelligently conscious light energy, which cultivated the light to form so physical matter could exist. Then the aspect of Source that is the great central sun Logos was done with its work / exhale and phased into a black hole Logos. At this point, the physical outer planes existed in a chaotic form or dance for an unfathomable amount of time. Since Source in its totality does not interact directly within the cosmos after this point, the upper densities of the inner planes act as a type of administrative and caretaker role for the physical outer planes, with the 6th and 7th density inner planes consisting solely of positively polarized beings. The beings in the 7th density inner planes act as the highest administrative positions for Source. Then free will aspects of Source in the form of star logi for each galaxy continued the process of shaping the outer planes, each adding their own slight differences to Source's original thought projection. Then these star logi in the middle of each galaxy phased into black hole logi after their work was done. Then each star logi for each solar system or cluster of materials within its respected galaxy continued the process of using their free will to shape the outer planes for their specific area, adding their own slight differences that they see as a progression / upgrade to the original thought. When these star logi are done with their work, they might phase into a black hole Logos or eventually return to Source in another manner. After what may appear to be a countless, unfathomable amount of time, all within the cosmos coalesces back where it came from, the great central sun Logos, which is the present black hole in the middle of the universe that inhales everything out of the mental projection that is the illusory cosmos and back into itself, Source. The primary rule or way of the cosmos is free will. Without this game board rule, the profound cosmic experience would not be able to be played, as all pieces of Source would do the same thing or predestined function, both not expanding on Source knowing itself more fully, and both would be pretty boring from a player's perspective in a game or experience. All pieces of Source are given free will, so they can experience something different than Source's eternal state of being, pure love, joy, and peace. Since Source is infinite, Source is never done with knowing itself fully, which means sparks of Source, beings like yourself, never cease experiencing. Logi do not experience the densities in the cosmic experience. They do not play the game, so to speak. They help create each part of the experience, their respected galaxy or solar system area. Logi are always fully aware of being Source and are the most concentrated parts of Source in the cosmos. The great central sun, which is now a black hole, being the most concentrated part of Source of all the Logi. All the beings who experience the densities within the cosmos co-create the different possibilities / timelines by using free will. So they are co-creators for their seemingly separate from Source focal points of awareness. Even though the Logi do not experience the densities in the illusion, free will starts with them because each Logos creates an adaptation in their respected galaxy or solar system and utilizes free will to do so. Each Logos of a galaxy creates their own addition as to what they see is a progression / upgrade of the cosmic experience. Each Logos of a solar system creates its own enhancements in the name of progression as well. So when a spacecraft from one solar system enters a different solar system, its occupants might notice a little difference, a minor tweak to the physics or nature they are used to. Perhaps the travelers do not even notice the changes. The creation of solar systems in a galaxy follow the flow of life force, intelligently conscious love energy inspiriting and cultivating intelligently conscious light vibrations, so that the solar systems near the center of a galaxy are the oldest, and the further the golden ratio shaped spiral of this life force energy goes out, the newer the solar systems. The star / solar system planet Earth resides in is more towards the rim of the Milky Way galaxy, so it is one of the newer star systems, comparatively speaking. The veil of forgetfulness in third density was an adaptation a Logos created, and it was implemented in the Milky Way galaxy later on in the spiral. So the solar systems toward the center of this galaxy do not experience the veil of forgetfulness and do not forget their third density incarnations or that they are a part of Source always connected to Source. It was found that the beings in this experience did not strive very much toward graduating to fourth density because of their knowledge of being a part of Source. Their existence is that of being in a cozy bed that one does not feel the need to get out of. There are no service to self beings to fight and challenge the service to others beings, because when a being knows they and all other beings are one as a part of Source, and are always sharing their loving, joyful, and peaceful connection with Source, the illusion does not create service to self beings, as there's no illusory separation from oneness / source. These beings know they will eventually graduate to fourth density, but they are enjoying third density so much that there is not much of a desire to strive to graduate quicker. They tend to enjoy university life and are not pushed to do homework or things they do not want to do and know they will graduate at some point, but the when mostly does not matter. These beings do not face many challenges and hardships of the off-branching river chutes that galvanize striving toward the pathway back to the ocean. In this way, Source does not expand its knowledge of itself that much, nor is the experience challenging enough to be highly entertaining. Source expanding its knowledge of itself and having a highly entertaining experience / game to play are synonymous. Looking to increase the striving toward the ocean and adding many challenging experiences that one can learn from, the Logos created its alterations / upgrade to Source's original thought by adding the veil of forgetfulness to third density so that beings in its area of influence do not remember their past incarnations and do not initially know they are part of Source or that Source even exists. This is when third density beings become more complex and confused. There was already a complex of the mind for third density beings that partitioned source mind from the rest of the tree of mind so that beings could seemingly experience separation from source and have free will. After the veil of forgetfulness was placed on third density beings, their mind complex became even more complex, adding another partition that separated the conscious mind from the subconscious mind. Since there is no fixed known connection with Source and knowing who they are, nor ensuring the continued state of love, joy, and peace that comes with such a connection, choosing to be a service to self being became an option, a role to be played within the cosmic experience. The great choice was born in third density of being able to choose to graduate to fourth density by playing the role of a service to self negatively polarized being or the role of a service to others positively polarized being. This change creates a striving and seeking by beings to know who they are and why they are here that had not existed before. It is seen as most beneficial and effective because it greatly expands the nature of one's experiences and the whole journey back to Source. Since all logi are mentally connected, this beneficial adaptation / upgrade was seen and adopted by other logi and became the new default setting for their solar systems, which continued enhancements / upgrades being made upon it by each logos. After polarity was created, many refinements were made along the way by logi before getting to what human beings are experiencing on planet Earth. The experience is seen as being not too easy, far more exciting, and has more challenges, quests, and goals for the players to accomplish, all of which offers more learning opportunities. For a human being, this is the kind of game a dedicated gamer enjoys playing, and since one could consider Source a game creator and a game player at the same time, the thought is mutual. As above, so below. As below, so above. We will give you an idea of how expansive the universe is and how abundant with life it is. In the Milky Way galaxy alone, there are approximately 248 billion stars. 1/3 of these stars have orbiting planets. Approximately 7% of these approximately 248 billion stars have clustered materials instead of planets that some density life inhabit. Now we will focus in on the beginnings and the development of a single planet that eventually hosts third density life and has a high probability to host higher density life as it progresses. We will focus on planet Earth for this example. From the Logos / star Earthlings call the Sun, the intelligently conscious life force energy continued spiraling out to shape the outer planes in its area with the slight alterations / upgrade it deemed progressive. Physical matter continued to dance chaotically for an unfathomable period of time and eventually started to randomly form unique patterns, akin to how a random number generator functions. Then physical matter coalesced and patterns and cycles became set in an ordered manner. All materials in the cosmos is shaped by the dynamic tension of the electromagnetic field, the two apple-shaped fields superimposed over each other, one field flowing one direction and the other the opposite direction. So as it is for every galaxy, solar system, star, planet, and being. First there was fire and wind on planet Earth that eventually shaped earth and water, first density life, atoms, molecules, the elementals, fire, wind, earth, and water, all conscious / aware life, but not self-aware beings. The earth began to stabilize and single-celled water life began to evolve and continued on up to beings such as lower water life, insects, and lower plant life, early to middle second density life. Then eventually this evolution grew into life forms such as higher plant life, trees, and animals, middle to later second density life, which is still conscious / aware life, but not self-aware beings. Billions of years later, when planet Earth began its cycle of being able to naturally host third density life forms, a species of later second subdensity life forms were selected by the local logos, the sun, to graduate to a third density experience. In this case, it was apes. Intelligently conscious love and light energy was sent and focused on this selected species, and the life forms who received and utilized it transformed with a quick evolutionary leap forward into primitive human-like bodies through a span of approximately 1,340 years. Planet Earth is approximately 5.4 billion to 6.4 billion years old. This is a very rough estimation because as the Earth was forming, it is hard to consider when it officially became a planet in a human being's perspective, similar to the argument of when a fetus becomes a human being. There was only first density life on Earth for its first 900 million to 1.9 billion years approximately, starting with the elementals, wind, fire, earth, and water, atoms, and molecules. The wide range being given due to the aforementioned reason at the start of this paragraph. Second density life on Earth started approximately 4.5 billion years ago with early second subdensity life forms slowly evolving over billions of years to later second subdensity life forms. Dinosaurs also existed within this time frame, but they did not naturally evolve on Earth. They were a genetic experiment placed on Earth hundreds of millions of years ago by a third density word shown on screen race from a different solar system. Apes started rapidly evolving into primitive third density human beings approximately 75,525 years ago. At this time, there was another group of third density beings who were words shown on screen in an assisting manner by the local guardians and placed on Earth to continue their interrupted third density experience on their original planet that became inhospitable due to warfare. This will be covered in a later subject about your solar system's history. If a planet ends up hosting third density beings, the later second subdensity beings within a particular species who have spiritually advanced enough are the selected species by the local logos to evolve into third density beings. Only the beings in this species who are ready to graduate to third density make this quick evolutionary leap forward at this cyclical time, which took approximately 1,340 years in Earth's case. This quick evolutionary leap forward is a one-time occurrence that coincides with the planet's moving its core vibration to third density, and so being able to host third density life forms, and the beginning of a new grand cycle, which consists of 3 major cycles. This is why later on, when other apes and all other second density beings became advanced enough to graduate to third density, they do not go through the process of the quick leap forward in evolution. Instead, when later second subdensity beings have experienced many incarnations and are ready to graduate after they transition/die, they incarnate as early third sub-density beings, human beings in Earth's case, through the typical human birthing process. This is why there are still apes on Earth and why other second density beings on Earth have not and will not make the quick leap in evolution like the advanced apes did starting approximately 75,525 years ago. Most third density life forms in this universe evolved into having a head, 2 legs, and 2 arms. One of the exceptions are the life forms who evolve on water planets. There are third density bipedal birds, cats, reptiles, dogs, trees, and so on throughout the later second subdensity life forms found on Earth and not on Earth that exist throughout the universe. Approximately 5% of third density beings from other planets in this universe may pass as human beings in a crowd if not focused on adequately. Creation and evolution are both factors for life and the growth of life in the cosmos. Evolution is not mechanical like scientists think. Creation is not spontaneous like the religious think. Evolution versus creation is another dualistic argument where both are true to some degree and work hand in hand as the same function, like nature and nurture we already covered. The shape and look of third density beings is carried with them into fourth density. Minor adaptations through evolution during their third density experience may occur depending on their changing environment, but the general form and look stays the same. In fifth density, the density of light and wisdom, beings are able to shape their form however they want. Since it is the density of light, and light is what makes up all physical matter, fifth density beings can alter their physical bodies using thought alone. The intelligently conscious love energy, or life force energy for short, flows outward from logi/stars and is directed by a planet's apple-shaped electromagnetic field to be collected through the poles of a planet. The life force energy is then distributed outward from the planet's core in a spiral fashion and has been called prana by human beings, which could be considered recycled life force energy. This outward and upward life force energy creates striving for growth for all beings up through the densities instead of random growth occurring. Just like the sunflower can be seen striving to face the flowing life force energy from the sun, all beings follow this set pathway for their conscious growth up through the densities. All beings, aware and self-aware, follow the life force energy back to source. All pathways lead to source eventually, with some roads taking longer than others. Prana could be seen as a loving, gentle hand of Source guiding the way back home. This course is presented in video format for free to overcome book shadow banning and make its existence known. Now that you know it exists, it's recommended to proceed how this course is intended to be absorbed by book. The title of the book is The Cosmic Experience of One, an awareness expanding course for human beings. The information in this course is more effective and appropriate to be read in book form, where one can pause and ruminate and meditate on the material as they read. Besides the low audio quality in the videos and the protection from targeted spoken words and censorship, the book is a much better way to understand and learn the material. The book contains two more subjects, 104.2 and 104.3, which is my way of thanking those who show their appreciation to my aiding services by purchasing the book. Since we currently live in a broken monetary system, without your show of monetary appreciation for my services, I can't get by and continue to perform service to others acts by writing more meaningful books. Purchasing the book not only shows your appreciation for my services and allows me to live in this monetary system, but the course's material will be easily accessible for your revisiting. To more fully absorb the material, it's recommended to read the book at least twice. You will understand why on your second reading. You can gain positive polarity by doing your part in sharing this awareness expanding course with others. Raising the collective's vibration is a team effort. We cannot do this alone. Your participation is required. Liking and subscribing are also actions that make this course seen by more human beings. A negatively oriented being learns information and keeps it to themselves so they can selfishly benefit over others. A positively oriented being learns information and wants others to benefit from it as well because they care. And they know that aiding others also aids themselves. This is true in more ways than one. As a being gains positive polarity for aiding others, and they benefit again when another's vibration is raised because it raises the whole collective's vibration, which assists all, including the first being who shared. All are connected, all are one. Comments and questions will be read, but I will not reply with comments, nor like comments, nor heart comments, nor interact in the comments section in any way. If comments or questions are found to warrant a reply, the reply will be made in a possible future video. If an account using the same or similar profile picture, channel name, or my author name interacts in any of the ways listed above or other ways, know that it's not me and is a human tool working for the negatively oriented human beings to capture and twist the information in this course or your perception, or smear the messenger. Likewise, human tools may create fake accounts on this platform or others in the same attempt to capture and twist this course's information. Official sources for me are listed in the description field below. Everything else is fake.